Thank you everyone, thank you to all the organisers for letting me to be here today, and I just want to talk a little bit about CIP, Card Industry Professionals, and my experience and how payments are evolving with digital tech. So it's really important that we support SMEs throughout the UK with payment solutions that are up to date, are innovating, are allowing them to reconcile their reporting and their stock management, their inventory, and just taking away the stress of the day-to-day running of the business. And it's something I've been passionate about from an early age, and it led to me founding CIP in 2017. And when we look at CIP on the big screen now, some of the images there, you can understand some of the technology that we work with. It's not the traditional card machines and that's all that we do. We do supply them. We do support merchants in all sectors around the UK, whether it's a chip and pin machine for a cafe or a deli or a florist or a salon, but also what's the new next level technology? What are the smart POS devices that are coming out? Touchscreen devices, ePOS, tablet integrated systems and solutions that are available for merchants to take advantage of. And it's quite a interesting dynamic for me. I've got quite a unique perspective on the industry because I've grown up around card payments. My mum's been in the industry 25 years. So coming in from school, I was seeing the innovations, I was hearing the partnerships, I was understanding what the next image of a card machine will look like. And it got me thinking about how we can be more transparent with merchants, and then actually following on from that, how we can give ongoing support and long-term relationships with merchants. And that's what we try to do with CIP. That's why we focus so heavily on the Trustpilot and the 5-star rating. That's why we're proud to have built the business that we have throughout the UK, and we now support over 3,000 merchants with card payment facilities, and we're always looking for more to build on the base and the customer group that we support in the portfolio. So even just looking at the screen here, just some of the tablet-based solutions and some of the next level smart POS devices, it's important that we actually look and engage with merchants in local communities. We're not talking about the large retailers and the high street shops. We're talking about independent businesses, SMEs, local communities, people that you can meet at networking events like this, communities that maybe aren't the city centre locations. And that's a really powerful demographic for us to target and support because they want the education, they need the ongoing advice and support and assistance, and they appreciate any cost savings or any efficiencies to be made within the business. And fortunately, with the work that we're doing, the great team that we have at CIP, we've been finalists at a number of card and payment awards this year, including the Card and Payment Awards, the UK Fintech Awards, and I was fortunate enough to be listed by Forbes in the 30 under 30 Europe list this year for finance. And when we look at mobile tech, and what really interests me and got me engaged with payments was the development of mobile tech and how many iterations and innovations were happening within a short period of time. If we look at the first iPhone to be released in 2007, it's 14 years ago. We're now on generation 13, iPhone 13. And when we look at actually how it's progressed in the meantime, we've moved from 3G to 4G to 5G. We've had Apple Pay introduced in 2014, and the Apple Watch and accessories. We're connected with our social media accounts. We have apps that integrate with the mobile tech. And it's really exciting to see all of those innovations take place. And one thing with me, when I was looking at the card payment equivalents, is there's a real gap between the mobile technology that's come along since 2007 with the iPhone and the card payment devices that are available today. And when we look at the actual timeline of card payment machines, we can see that even in 2010, when there'd been 3 generations of iPhones, the Ingenico range were launching their Telium terminal, which was still very much like the terminals of the 1990s and the early 2000s. There's buttons on the screen, there's a green, red, yellow button for doing different functions on the machine. You couldn't really download apps, and it wasn't touchscreen, it wasn't intuitive, it didn't support merchants like a mobile phone was that was now in their pocket. And when we look at actually some of the early adopters that we partner with, like iZettle, who is Zettle by PayPal now, they launched in Sweden in 2011, and they understood that the power of the mobile tech could allow them to integrate a card machine or tether a Bluetooth card reader to the payment device, and that could support SMEs in all scenarios, and is really interesting to us. Even in 2015, we've had iPhones for 8 years at this stage. Ingenico launched their Telium Tetra range, which is essentially a more aesthetically pleasing device that still has the same functionality. Still buttons, still not really able to download the apps onto it, able to integrate the software with accountancy software or stock management inventory. And it's not until the last couple of years, last handful of years at the most, that we've started to see touchscreen devices in businesses and SMEs, whether it's Zettle by PayPal, whether it's the Pax A920, or it's the point devices, P5 and P61B. We're proud at CIP to bring those devices to the mainstream SME market, local communities, independents, retailers that are only looking at high street chains and thinking that the technology is out of their reach. It's not, it's available, and we can support you with implementing it, advising on it, and the ongoing support of the technology. And even as close as last week, we had the Zettle terminal launched that we're supporting Zettle with, which is their first touchscreen, all-in-one Android-based device, which is really exciting to bring to the market. And the traditional customer journey, when they adopt digital technology, there's a study by Visa into digital transformation and what that meant for SMEs. And when we look at the traditional journey of discover, evaluate, buy and engage, before the digital tech was available, before we all had phones in our pockets and were connected 24/7, we relied a lot on word of mouth. We relied on possibly local radio stations and adverts or pamphlets being delivered through the door to actually understand and discover a local business. To actually evaluate it, you had to speak, again, word of mouth with neighbours or friends and family, or you had to look through the pamphlet and select what you wanted to buy or go into the store. And buying a product from them was very much based in store and over the phone, possibly. Engaging face-to-face, punch loyalty cards and print promotions. But with the introduction of digital tech and web, social media, web searches, the ads that we can run on SEO and Google Analytics, it allows businesses to be discovered. It allows all businesses from different communities to be discovered. And then to evaluate these businesses, we have community forums, we have blogs, we have online reviews, TripAdvisor, Trustpilot. We're all used to looking at the Amazon reviews and see how many thousand 5-star reviews one item has got before we buy it. And it also leads to being able to buy online, Facebook Marketplace, being able to integrate into a platform, an e-commerce platform, so you've got your sales in eBay and Amazon and on your website and your Instagram, all in one place that syncs lifetime with what you're selling in your retail outlet. And that's the next step for SMEs, is being able to take the technology in store, process the payments, but sync lifetime reporting and data with your inventory and with your online sales. And then you can engage with your local community, you can engage with a community throughout different countries, you can ensure that you're building a digital loyalty program, email marketing campaigns, and you've got a lot more opportunity for closing sales and having repeat business and long-term business. And some of the main facts and figures that came out of the Visa Digital Transformation Study is that SMEs that adopted digital technology saw an average increase of 8% in sales revenue. And 8% sales revenue is really impressive for the average merchant, an independent merchant or a local merchant. One of the facts that came out of it that impressed me more was that no business, not one business, saw a decrease in sales volume or revenue. So there's only upside by implementing digital technology for payments. And when we think about the average merchant that takes £250,000 a year, an 8% increase would equate to £20,000 in additional sales revenue and volume. And to the independent business, the average merchant, that's a really powerful amount of additional income into the business each year. I just want to talk about a case study local to us here, a merchant that we've supported across the bridge in Grimsby that went through this digital transformation over the last 12 months. June Woods is a retailer, a fashion boutique, ladies clothing boutique in Grimsby, open since 1975. Sarah realised she needed to take the business online as well as face-to-face sales, but didn't know how. And she began interacting through social media platforms, but people that were engaging couldn't actually buy a product. They couldn't place an order. She was asking them on Messenger to come into the business itself. And when she was looking at setting up online, she was really panicked that her inventory and her stock and her sales day to day, hour to hour, wouldn't sync with what she was selling in the actual physical store. So it's really important that we work with partners like Zettle by PayPal and BigCommerce to ensure that online and offline sales are synced lifetime. If she sells a dress in the shop, it comes out of the available stock online. Vice versa if she sells one online. And be able to engage in Instagram, Facebook, and different platforms and marketplaces, her own website, to actually sell products and engage with local communities, local consumers, further afield consumers, meant that she had a much higher reach. And what it led to for June Woods is what we saw is day-to-day tasks are made simpler and less stressful, improved stock control with synced online and offline inventory, it reduced the stress. There's 2 full days of manual work saved every month from physical stock take, from evaluating and completing marketing activities, being actually get back to merchants and invite them into the shop rather than just completing the sale. And quite importantly, most importantly for me, the actual business made 50 extra sales in the first 6 weeks of implementing the digital technology. Between Zettle, which you can see there is an actual picture in the shop on the counter, the payments solution, the tablet-based ePOS there, syncing lifetime with our online account and sales online, meant 50 additional sales in the first 6 weeks. And when we think about that in numbers, when we come back to the Visa Digital Transformation study, the 8% uplift, if we take the 6 weeks and times that across her first 12 months of trade, it's around 400 additional sales that June Woods would have from implementing digital technology. The average dress costs £50 in the clothing in the boutique itself, June Woods. Then that would equate to an additional £20,000 in sales revenue from those 400 additional sales. So a really, really powerful tool, really effective for SMEs. It's not just the high street chains. Any business can take this technology on. Card industry professionals work hard to implement it, support merchants, give ongoing support, and we're really proud of the experience we have, the knowledge that we have of the sector, and we'd really like to support as many businesses as possible. Discuss it, engage, let's get a solution worked out for you. But yeah, I'm happy for anybody to reach out on social media, connect with me, discuss the opportunities, and I really appreciate you all your time. And thank you. Cheers.